Hey guys, this is Aegis, and I've got here a game between IXCMaestrO, and his opponent is going to be the one and only vGMangoMasta. I think he was formerly known as the Mango Master, but he is gone to be a gangster. He's now MangoMasta. He's going to be playing as the red Protoss player. Maestro is going to be playing as the orange Terran player, which is one of my favorite colors. But of course, I do play Protoss, so I'm sort of rooting for MangoMasta over here. I'm not sure if this is, yep, this was ladder actually. So this is Xel'Naga Caverns, everyone's favorite map. And I'm sort of breaking that promise thing where I was only going to make one game a week, and I'm doing 2 or 3 in a week, so I hope you're not too upset with this. And also, this was a user-submitted game, so of course I'm accepting replays at my email at aegisstarcraft2@gmail.com. Send me whatever replays you think are good. I'll have a look, and perhaps you'll see them here on my channel. So this is the first of a few, I hope, if people would send me some more. And there's the first gateway coming up for MangoMasta. Maestro is going to be getting up his barracks inside of his base. He's got his gas on the way as well, so no sort of gas first to get those fast Hellions, or sort of no gas going for a fast expansion. So we do have the first probe now moving out across the map. MangoMasta VG. I actually never heard of VG before, so if someone knows what that stands for, leave a comment below. MangoMasta used to play for some CSL team. I really can't remember right now, but my team played against them before once in the CSL. I just can't remember right now. He's going to steal the gas. Very interesting play here from MangoMasta. So he really does not want to see any Banshees from this game right now. We've got the Cybernetics core on the way for MangoMasta. He's also grabbing his own gas, so it looks like he will be teching in the near future, or going for a 3-gate expansion. We'll see if that's exactly what he's going to do. We've got the SCV now poking back, is going to be checking everything out over here, and we'll do some mining, and one probe immediately gets on his case for stealing those minerals, and we'll be forcing him out of here. Looks like the gas is finished, and probe's getting into gas right now. A probe checking out this location will no doubt be checking back in here shortly, and there is a factory now on the way, and the first Marine is working on that assimilator, and the assimilator actually gives him enough scouting to know that there is a tech lab. So just FYI for people who don't want to be scouted by an assimilator, do not build your barracks with its tech lab right next to it. And I forgot to mention, this is a Masters League game. It's not going to be your regular bronze, silver, gold, platinum. So we're going to be seeing pretty high level play here from both players. First Zella is out from MangoMasta, and it looks like both players are doing a great job of keeping their money low. And Maestro is going to be going for his command center real shortly. Should be seeing that come up in just a second. Perhaps as he pushes out with these first few units along with that Hellion, he will be throwing down his command center at his natural expansion. During this push, we have the probe scouting, and it is going to get pulled back. That Hellion is going to be toasting it away, and it should die off. There it is, down after 3 hits. We've got the 3 gateways on the way for MangoMasta. Should be able to warp in those sentries just in time to defend against this push. And the command center has been started by Maestro, so this assimilator finally getting drilled away by an SCV. He really does not like this plan, and a switch over from the factory, and the assimilator sees it yet again. A second barracks is on the way. Does he see that? Yes, he does. So he sees a lot of stuff. And there's one Hellion up on the high ground, a couple of Stalkers getting warped in, a perfect force field, forcing the Terran player to hang outside of this base, and it looks like the Terran units will be forced back. Chrono Boost going down on the warp gates will help him defend against this early push. That sentry actually does not have enough energy right now, and a Maestro could actually try to run up the ramp and do some damage, but it looks like another force field goes down, will trap that one Hellion, and prevent the Terran units from doing any additional units unless the Protoss units decide to hang out in range. And the robotics facility now on the way for our Protoss player. Still that SCV trying to drill away at that assimilator. We've got the first tank coming out as well as the siege mode, and the orbital command is going to get started by Maestro. And back here the Protoss has started their natural expansion. We'll be able to grab that shortly after the Terran player does secure his. MangoMasta actually securing a very strong food lead at 50 food to 38 food, so this is not exactly the position that a Terran player wants to be in. However, he does have his orbital command complete, will be able to make plenty of SCVs. He has the siege tank as well as enough units to hold the onslaught from a Protoss player. So he should be able to take his natural expansion real soon. Looks like MangoMasta is going to be doing some pushing of his own, perhaps denying that expansion for a short period of time until that siege mode finishes, which is now. So the siege tank will be able to blast down any of these units. The Zealot makes its way up here, and it does see everything that's going on. The sentries will be able to deny the Terran player from moving out from his base for a short period of time, but now the siege tank has been sieged, and it will be difficult for MangoMasta to hold this ramp any longer. Another force field going down, the two tanks creeping up to the front, siege blast going down, and hopefully he does not lose any sentries. There's the sentries losing all of their shields, and another force field should be going down, and the Protoss player should be backing up with his forces to be able to prevent them from dying to those Marines and Marauders. Simpack is not quite done yet, as there is no tech lab to be able to get those upgrades. So he should be getting that tech lab real soon after he secures that expansion. He's going to be shooting down that supply depot, and a scan going down to pick off that observer. More Zealots going to be joining this force. The natural expansion has begun mining for MangoMasta, continuing his food lead at 72 food. He's got the charge upgrade on the way for his Zealots as well. So both players basically playing perfectly as of this point. The siege tanks moving out, as well as the two gases getting grabbed by Maestro. He's going to be floating out his command center after securing the area with those white snowflakes. Never knew that white snowflakes could be so dangerous. There's one stalker dying to those white snowflakes, and a missile turret is on the way for Maestro. Will be able to help him defend against any sort of DT rush or delayed DTs. But MangoMasta is going to be going that Robotech. He's got Immortals on the way, maybe trying to do some sort of Immortal Zealot push, but he is getting the Templar Archive, so he will be able to get those Archons and High Templar out on the field shortly. As you might note, Templar are very good against Marines and Marauders. Immortals also the unit getting the buff in the recent patch. If you haven't checked that out, go to Blizzard's website, check out their forums. People have been talking about that for a short period of time. Sensor Tower also coming up for Maestro. Couple of idle SCVs hanging out over here, and Templar are now on the way, as well as an observer popping out for our Protoss player, and he is continuing to make those probes, so no sort of all-in play as of this point. He's got the two Templar going to be warping into a Archon. He's got additional Zealots on the field. MangoMasta still continuing his food lead, going to be going ahead and securing a third base in the near future. We've got a couple of units over here going to be cleaning up a pylon. And another command center has been started somewhere by our Terran player. There it is. It is finished now. And the Protoss army also cleaning up the rocks at the gold base. We'll be able to throw down a Nexus in the near future. And that command center should be floating to a new location shortly. There is a pylon at this location, so no sort of hidden third base will be occurring. There is a single Templar over here going to be hanging out by himself. He's so close to that Terran army. It looks like he will get caught, but it looks like the Protoss army is in time to save him. But it looks like this is a very, very bad engagement for our Protoss player. He will be retreating here. That one Templar did get away. He doesn't have Storm, so he won't be able to cast down that Storm anytime soon. Looks like our Protoss player will be backing home and warping in some additional Zealots, as well as his Nexus is on the way. Another Immortal will be joining the field shortly. Immortal's going to be pointing their guns in the sky. Of course, they can't shoot up. We've got the Sea Shanks now sieging up for Maestro, and it's going to bait some of those Protoss units. One of them, Immortals, taking some damage. Sea Shanks now in a very good position. It's going to be very difficult to break through here. We'll see if MangoMasta is able to do it. He's got more Archons on the way. He needs to warp in another round of Zealots, perhaps to try to deal the damage. And here comes the push from MangoMasta. He's going to be sending the Archons forth. He's got the Zealots also charging in. The Immortals walking right up to the Sea Shanks. Some Zealots on the other side as well. Looks like the Terran army will be able to hold this choke. Another Immortal getting in the action over there. Will be able to take out a couple of Sea Shanks. Actually losing a ton of Sea Shanks in that exchange. But it looks like our Terran player will be able to continue pushing in here. He does not have Stimpak or the Combat Shield, so those Marines are actually pretty weak. They're going to be doing some damage over here. The Zealots advancing forward and charging into battle. And there's the Sea Shanks raining the fire down on their own units. And that one Immortal still destroying those Sea Shanks very handily. And it looks like the Marines and Marauders will be able to clean up that one Immortal. More Zealots being warped in. Hopefully we'll be able to clean up that remaining bits of that Terran army. And a great hold by MangoMasta. Maestro is retreating now, and MangoMasta does have his third base up, as with Maestro, but he will be mining from it a little bit later. Another base will be coming on the way for Maestro in a short while. 2 gas getting grabbed by Maestro at the gold expansion. That gold expansion is going to give him such great income. There's a little bit of a mistake here. There's 1 guy in gas only, and we've got upgrades now on the way, plus 1 attack for those Zealots. Going to make them so great against those Marines. Another Immortal popping out. More Zealots and Templar being warped in. Storm is now on the way, so he should be saving some energy on those High Templar now. Going to be able to storm away massive numbers of Terran infantry units when the time comes. Another factory on the way, as well as that command center about halfway complete. A missile turret is also complete at this location. Just in case of any Dark Templar action, we also have a couple more gateways on the way for our Protoss player. It looks like another push from Maestro, going to be headed straight for that base, that third base, and it looks like this pylon will be able to spot it and allow MangoMasta to reposition his troops. He's actually drastically over pyloned as of this point. He's got 190 free supply to the 119 supply that he does have. So he has plenty of capacity. Even if he loses those pylons, not a big deal. He's far from being supply blocked. And there it is, another pylon going up. Make sure that he has good vision of that area. Looks like the Zealots and the Templars getting into position. The Templar do have Storm at the ready, so they will be able to cast those Storms down. Storm's going down on all of the Sea Shanks, as well as all of those Marines, and without those combat shields, they're going to be very weak, and the Zealots going to be charging in here, as well as the Immortal doing some damage. The Zealots getting into the face of those Sea Shanks, and that Immortal actually doing tons of work against those Sea Shanks. Look at that Terran army getting completely obliterated by the Protoss Zealots, as well as those Immortals and Archons. I was actually surprised that that Terran army did die to that. I thought the Terran army was going to be able to hold with those Sea Shanks, and another command center is on the way for Maestro. Going to be throwing down plenty of those orbital actually, never mind. Planetary fortresses to help him better secure this area. It will force MangoMasta to go for a different tech path, as Zealots are not the best unit against the planetary fortresses. Colossus now on the way with the extended thermal lance, going to be switching that tech up a little bit. High-sec auto tracking now on the way for Maestro. Looks like that's actually a fairly common upgrade for Terran players these days, as planetary fortresses are quite beastly. Another command center is actually done over here. More Marines pouring out, as well as 2 command centers on the way right now. I have no idea where the other one is being built. There it is. Command center inside the main. More barracks going to be floating out here, securing the area, forcing the Zealots to run around weird building areas, and giving those Sea Shanks so much power. More Sea Shanks. This place is under lockdown. If this place was a prison, no prisoner would ever be breaking out of this one. We've got the Zealots and the Archons switching over to this side. Looks like they will not be charging that Sea Shank position, especially with the supply depots up at the front. And Sea Shanks in the back will prevent the Protoss army from getting back there without taking any damage. It looks like the Archons will be able to tank most of that damage. And this, however, will give Maestro a chance to move his units if he needs to. It looks like the Protoss army will be backing up, and it does free our Protoss player to actually take these expansions to the side, as our Terran player is very immobile. Will find a very difficult time in actually moving out and attacking our Protoss player, since he is in such an entrenched position. And we've got Banshees now on the way, as well as more Hellions, more planetary fortresses on the way as well. Planetary fortress in the main, possibly another planetary fortress over here. Looks like another command center, 2 command centers getting started. This guy is just building command centers everywhere. It's just for supply, I guess. We've got MangoMasta taking the gold base now, going to be beginning mining those gold minerals as well as the 2 gas. The Colossus now joining this death ball-like army. We should be seeing some air units shortly. We've got the +3 ground weapons now finishing or started for those Zealots. 2-1 upgrades for those Zealots and new ground army units, as well as the Marines over here are still at 1-1. Sea Shanks up at 1-0. And it looks like a couple of Hellions going to be running into a couple of Colossi. Always a bad situation to be in. And the Marines are going to be coming down here and possibly taking out a bunch of those probes. And the Protoss army will be forced to relocate. This may give Maestro a chance to reposition his tanks and range down on that center gold expansion. Looks like the Marines will be targeting down this Nexus, and the Colossi and the Zealots getting in here will be able to clean this up very quickly. Look at those Marines getting toasted. All of those Marine corpses on the ground now, and this will force MangoMasta to rebuild his expansion. Looks like those Hellions getting in here and doing plenty of damage. Let's take a look at the workers kill tab. 27 workers already, and there's nothing in the main. Looks like those Hellions will take some damage while retreating. Trying to toast away a couple of those Zealots there. Do not want to get those High Templar in range, though. Looks like those Hellions will be able to get away. More Templar being warped in over here. And the +3 now finishing up. More Archons popping up. And that 3rd base getting retaken by MangoMasta. I guess we could call it a 5th base, since he does have this one on the way as well. Terran player still has not taken his back base, finally throwing down command centers over there. I guess he's a little undersupply. We'll be throwing down a couple more command centers, making sure that he never loses supply. Of course, it's more difficult to clean up a command center. 1500 HP and to the 400 HP of a supply depot. Make sure that your supply line is never stopped. We got an idle probe over here. Looks like a Protoss player is ready to push. Look at that Archon ball with Zealots. Looks like they will be walking around to the top side and perhaps engaging this flank. Looks like this Terran army is fairly well entrenched. I'd say this is a fairly unbreakable position. This is ridiculous. I'm going to speed it up a little. And it looks like our Protoss ball is going to be moving to the left side. Gonna be checking out things over here. And this is a complete stalemate. MangoMasta not sure what to do with the remainder 30 supply. Looks like he's getting his Dark Shrine on the way. He's saved up a ton of minerals, and looks like the Archons will be fighting that one planetary fortress over there. Will not be losing any units. And those Banshees getting in here, that's a huge surprise to the Protoss army. Looks like it will be forced back, and those Banshees do not yet have Cloak. So the Protoss army has retreated, a scan going down, and those Zealots are in a huge bunch of trouble. As there is no anti-air, the Zealots will be retreating, and the Archons trying to get into position to deal with those Banshees. Of course, Banshees do have the longer range. Cloak now being started for those Banshees, as well as more Hellions on the way. Maestro actually maxed at 200 food. And MangoMasta is still not quite yet max. He's getting out those Stargates, perhaps going to be going for some carriers. I really hope so. He's completely mined out his natural expansion, as with our Terran player. 2 mineral patches left over there. Mined out a gas in the main. Looks like we're going to be going for one of those games where we mine out the entire map. Going to be speeding this back up once again. And those Banshees headed to the left side. Looks like a couple of Hellions will be joining them for some action. Banshee's going to take a break while those units over here clean up a ton of probes. Let's look at the workers kill tab. 7 workers killed, and looks like a couple of cannons will be forced to cancel, and the Banshee's going to be going to work on this one Nexus over here, and our Protoss player has no answer to this since he does not have anything that actually shoots up aside from those Archons. Protoss player is actually content to let that expansion go. He'll come back and save it later, I guess. Those Banshees will be able to clean up a couple of those assimilators. Templars also getting into position. Perhaps some feedbacks going down. Looks like that will not occur. Scans going down on the Protoss army. Looks like the Banshees will be able to clean up a couple of stray pylons over here. A couple of cannons guarding this expansion as well. The Dark Shrine is up and a fleet beacon is on the way. Yes! Hopefully we will be seeing those carriers out on the field shortly. Let's speed this up again. And the huge ball of Banshees and Hellions continuing to try to do some damage. Looks like a couple of Hellions getting taken out over there. Some scans going down. Going to be able to clean up a bunch of those Hellions. Let's take a look at the workers killed tab. 40 workers killed, so only 3 workers killed in that exchange. Most of them were able to escape to that corner. And looks like we're gonna sit here for a while. We've got the Protoss armor level 2 on the way, as well as the Protoss shields +1. Very rarely in the Masters League do you see shields and everything being fully upgraded, but I have a feeling this is going to be one of those games where we see everything at 333. We've got a mothership now on the way for vGMangoMasta. Perhaps we'll see some teleporting action. Or perhaps some very nice defending action. The Graviton Catapult being started, as well as additional Stargates on the way, so we should be seeing those. Actually, our Terran players fairly breakable if we go air. There's not much anti-air here. There's only a couple of missile turrets. Banshees can't shoot up. Siege tanks, obviously, since even though their turrets point up, this looks like a bunch of suicidal zealots will be moving into position, and a couple of Thors out in the field. This is actually a very horrible composition to be dealing with if somebody goes carrier. So we'll see if those carriers are able to break this and end the game. And looks like finally Vikings are on the way, as well as the vehicle weapons, the level 3 armor plating, level 3 durable materials, all of the upgrades that you never ever see. Corvid reactor, Seeker missile. At least the upgrades that you don't see. And he's even getting his mothership at his most vulnerable nexus, I guess, aside from this one. And looks like a couple of Templar will be headed to the backside, perhaps storming away a couple of those SCVs. And a couple more command centers on the way for Maestro. And there's the huge storms going down, tons of damage, going to be killing off all of the SCVs at that location. 38 workers killed in all. There's one guy with 6 kills, 7 kills, and this guy 5 kills. And looks like the Banshees will be cloaking and coming over here and cleaning those guys up. Does not want to get fed back over there. A couple of Hellions going to be headed over here as well. That Archon quickly going down, and carriers now on the way, as well as the shields level 2, air weapons level 1 for our Protoss player. Look at those cloaked units. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I'm lagging now. Actually, Archons do look slightly different when cloaked. Not too much, but Colossi are just awesome when they're cloaked. Let's tilt over to the other side. How do you do this? There we go. Look at those Colossi. Anyways, enough oogling. We're gonna go back to the game, which looks like we've got a couple of Banshees cleaning up this location. Completely missed that, but that's completely okay. We've got a couple of Templar gonna be backing up over here. No doubt our Protoss player will be retaking that expansion shortly. So the carriers are popping out now, 3 at a time. Both players banking enough to pay college tuition at a community college. Looks like the Dark Shrine will be going down shortly. First carrier is on the field. Gonna get those interceptors on the way. Scan does see the carriers. And more Vikings getting pumped out, and it looks like they're all off Tech Lab ones, so we'll see exactly what happens. Should be throwing away more of those SCVs. I believe he has done that already. And the Banshee is cleaning up the last cannon over here. Complete stalemate position. I love those carriers, though. More carriers on the way, plus 2 air weapons. I wish we saw a second cyber core so we could see those upgrades coming out even faster. And the Banshee is going to be making their way in here. Our Protoss player is going to have to respond to this one now. All of the units that don't shoot up are also coming along for the ride. Looks like those Banshees will be coming in here and cleaning up a bunch of those pylons, but it looks like MangoMasta has plenty of those pylons to boot. Templar being warped in over here. Looks like that Templar will be going down, and a couple of gateways may also be falling. Looks like the Archons are actually stuck, so they cannot defend their own base. Looks like this carrier may be in danger. Chrono Boost going down on something, but more carriers on the way, so MangoMasta is going to be warping in a couple of High Templar, perhaps throwing down some feedbacks. One feedback completely one-hitting that one, another feedback going down, and Archon is on the way. A single photon cannon may be able to hold the line over here. A couple of Archons going to be coming back into the space. Looks like that Archon, oh, huge splash damage on those Banshees, but the Archon does go down, and that carrier is completely safe. Looks like MangoMasta will be massing up on the CCC composition, as I call it. We've got the Colossus, we've got the Chrono Boost, we've got the carriers. So there's your CCC composition, and the Banshees continue to do some work over here. Looks like the carriers are on the move as well, and the interceptor is going to be out. And Maestro, he definitely knows that there are carriers out on the field now. Even if he didn't see them with all of those scans, he would definitely know it now. I don't even know what to say about this game anymore. The gold expansion is completely mined out. This base over here is drying up. No one's dared to take this base yet until just now. MangoMasta is actually 187 food. He's going to have to throw down a couple of pylons here in just a few seconds. More carriers popping out for MangoMasta. And just going to be chilling for a while. Cybernetics core going down. Perhaps going to be starting those double upgrades. More carriers popping out for MangoMasta. Carriers are the best unit in the Protoss arsenal. At least I think of it that way. Looks like those Hellions get completely destroyed before being able to do anything. Maestro is actually completely unable to move out because of his composition and where he's placed his buildings. So we're going to be hanging out for a while. A couple of SCVs long distance mining. May even do some long distance muling. And it looks like we have 8 carriers out in the field for MangoMasta. They are at 1-2-0. And it looks like the shield's level 3 on the way. Should be starting that +3 attack, or +2 air weapons shortly, so that he can get that. Carriers are just awesome when they have 3-3. So I really hope that it happens. Please don't forget. There it is, finally getting started and chrono boosted. There's your triple C composition. We've got an idle probe hanging out over there. He's completely unneeded, as there are already 4,000 minerals in the bank. This base getting taken, a couple of cannons will be going down, and it looks like an Archon, actually a pylon, being warped in, and it looks like a ton of Vikings out in the field. It's just going to be up to seeing if those carriers can take out those Vikings, and I believe they will be able to. There's not enough Vikings over there. The missile turret's also trying to do some work, and here comes a major confrontation. If those Vikings go down, this could be really bad, and the Archon's also going to work. The carriers flying straight over a ton of those missile turrets, the missile turrets quickly falling down, and the mothership also moving into position. And the Terran player is finally on the move with those Thors, but he still is going to be stuck behind this wall, so there's nothing he can do about this. Observer also moving out, making sure no sort of action happens with those Banshees. No more Banshees on the field though, and the weapons level 3 is finishing up. Actually, shields level 3 finishing up, as well as the air weapons level 2. Another carrier on the way, as well as the attack over here, going to be cleaning up these planetary fortresses. More Vikings going to be joining this battle, but they're just unable to engage. That mothership also trying to get into position, and the cloaking and uncloaking, no doubt causing tons of lag for everyone. We've got the Vikings trying to take out all of those interceptors. The Thor's trying to take out those carriers, and it's just not going to be able to clean this up. Maestro actually falling to 149 supply. The Vikings now working down on that mothership, and a Archon toilet will be happening, but I don't think that actually works these days. The carriers and the Colossi advancing into position. More Vikings popping out will be able to take out that mothership, and all of the carriers have been cleaned up, and the Archons now popping out will be able to clean up a couple of those Vikings. And the difficulty here is that both players are back in the same position. And there is zero money now for Maestro, so he's going to be forced to move out. Completely did not notice that for just a second. So he's got zero money. He cannot do anything. He's got no SCVs. He's got 2 SCVs that he can long distance mine with. A couple of Zealots charging into action, and the Protoss army is going to have to try to get back into position. Another mothership is on the way, and our Protoss player just needs to bide his time. He can cancel that mothership, remake it somewhere else, try to warp in additional units, and hold this off. If he holds this off, he will be able to hold this game, win this game. 3 carriers on the way, and it's just those Vikings that he needs to take care of, and those 2 Thors. 1 Thor's just basically dead. He's got this expansion over here. The cannon's also going to be doing some work, very easily getting cleaned up by those 3 tanks. Protoss player needs to hold back for just a second. Those Sea Shanks, he does not want to get into this battle with those Sea Shanks sieged up. It'll be a huge disaster. He can't do this right now. There's too many Vikings. He needs to back up. He has to warp in the necessary units to be able to do this. He's got to wait for those carriers to pop out. He cannot be hasty about this at all. Throw down those chrono boosts on those gateways, warp in all of those zealots, and go for the kill. It's just those tanks out on the field right now. Our Terran player has nothing in the bank. Sea Shanks now sieging up in a pretty good position. He just can't be forced into attacking this position just yet. He needs to back up and wait for some more units. This is not a favorable confrontation. He's going to be backing up with those Archons. Looks like +3 air weapons is also on the way. 4 carriers out on the field right now. The Vikings are advancing forward. He needs to swing back. He needs to protect himself with some cannons, perhaps, and it looks like those carriers are being picked off, and the Archon's going to be trying to do the guarding action. Those Vikings are the only thing that is actually holding IXCMaestrO back right now, so he cannot risk losing a single one of those Vikings. Looks like this expansion will be going down. It'd be wise for the Protoss player to let it fall. We've got the Archons and the Zealots charging into battle right now. The Vikings also getting into this action. We've got the Immortals also on the high ground. The Colossus trying to work away at those units, and the Zealots charging in. Looks like the tanks will be cleaned up, but the Vikings still remain, and those Colossus will be falling very quickly. Looks like a couple of units left on the ground. Maestro at 20 food. It's just those Vikings in the air. Two more carriers on the way for IXCMaestrO. He can do some long distance mining over here at his new base. Actually, it's completely done. He does have the income. It's just mules for Maestro. And this is a very strange game right now. I bet neither player has any idea how many units the other has. 2 more carriers going to be popping out right now for IXCMaestrO. He could do some pushing, but I bet he feels extremely uncomfortable in this position. And our Terran player going to be remaking those tanks and those Hellions. He's got those Vikings. He's not going to be remaking too many of those, as he does know that all of the carriers have gone down. The +3 air weapons now finishing up for IXCMaestrO. He needs to take note of those 2 carriers, get those interceptors made. And he actually doesn't have ground armor level 3. He would have destroyed that armor that even more if he had actually went ahead and did that. Looks like a couple of mules will get taken down, and the Sea Shanks will be engaging those Zealots shortly, and it looks like the Zealots will quickly get taken down without doing too much damage. Looks like 1 Sea Shank did get taken down to half health, and it looks like our Protoss player may be looking to push with 2 Immortals, an Archon, 2 Zealots, and a carrier? Well, I don't know. He doesn't actually have interceptors for that carrier either. He needs to take note of those 2 carriers that did just finish up. Let's take a look to see exactly where he's actually looking. Looks like it's mostly Immortal action here for our Protoss player. Looks like the Immortals will be charging into battle here. Going to be taking out those Sea Shanks so quickly. And it looks like the very hard wall here will deter Maestro from... Actually, IXCMaestrO from pushing in there too hard. He's still got those 2 carriers, man. Those carriers can make or break this game as of this point. And it looks like that command center over here will be looking to retake that base, and the Vikings getting into position, trying to take out that last carrier. He needs to put that carrier way, way far back. More carriers popping out, and it looks like those Vikings will quickly be taken care of, especially against 3 carriers. 4 Vikings is just not quite enough. Maestro is completely broke. He's got a couple of mineral patches over here, but our Protoss player is in a perfect position, actually. 95 food to the 27 food of his opponent, and with all of those immortals, 3-3-2. Let's take a look over here. 65 damage against armored, so that's a ton of damage. And a Thor's now on the way. I guess he canceled that because it's not the right choice. There's very little that our Terran player can actually do. To be honest, I can't see him winning this game at all. This is such a strange position to be in. Neither player really wants to push. Neither player really can do too much, because those immortals don't want to risk being obliterated by those planetary fortresses, especially with those the supply depot wall over here. Looks like one immortal will be testing the wall over here. Gonna be taking down a couple of supply depot walls, supply depots over here. It looks like the Hellions will be trying to deal with the bunch of immortals. I guess not. As comes stalkers out in the field as well. We'll be able to deal the damage against those Vikings. Looks like the immortal army is going to be charging in here and taking down that planetary fortress. Down it goes. This once impenetrable iron wall is going to be going down. The Sea Shank completely obliterated. The carriers also getting taken out. Looks like that planetary fortress will be going down as well. The Hellions getting in on the action, quickly getting obliterated. It looks like all of these buildings going down so quickly. Have you ever seen buildings fall this fast? Look at all of those immortals just blowing everything down. There's a couple of Banshees on the way. I guess that's a okay choice, but there are stalkers and carriers on the field right now. And it's 26 food. The Banshees are out now, and they do have the cloak. GG, what was your last mining base? And GG left. So this is a great game here, and Maestro does leave the game, and MangoMasta takes it in a very long, drawn-out 53-minute game, ending with Immortal Carrier composition. Oh, what a great game. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, if you have interesting games, send them to me at aegisstarcraft2@gmail.com. This is Aegis, signing off. Yeah,